They say the heart remembers what the mind forgets. But 3 months ago, I thought I lost my happily ever after forever.
It started on a rainy Tuesday on the 3rd mainland bridge. One wrong turn, a loud crash, and everything went black.
When I finally opened my eyes, in that white hospital room, a man was holding my hand. He was crying, smiling, and thanking God.
But when he leaned in to kiss my forehead, I pulled away. "Who are you?" I asked him the 4 words that broke his heart.
His name was Tunde, and according to everyone, he was my fiancé. We had been together for 3 beautiful years, but the crash took all of it away. A rare form of trauma-induced amnesia. To my brain, Tunde was just a stranger. When we got back to our apartment, nothing felt familiar. The photos on the wall looked like they belonged to someone else. Tunde didn't force anything. He slept on the couch, made my favorite meals, and gave me space. But the silence in the house was heavy. To escape the awkwardness, I started doing what I always did when I felt lost. I picked up my sketchbook and started to draw. I didn't know what I was drawing. I was just letting my hand move. But every single page ended up showing the exact same mysterious face. They say the mind forgets, but the heart remembers. Part 1 ended with me drawing a stranger in my sleep, and Tunde found it.
He didn't make a sound. But when he saw the sketchbook open on my duvet, his whole world stopped.
He picked it up. He told me later that for one heart-stopping moment, he thought he was seeing a ghost that looked exactly like him. He didn't wake me. He just held that book in the dark for hours, making a promise. If I could dream him up, he could make me fall in love all over again. The next morning, everything was different. He didn't look like a stranger trying too hard anymore. He looked like a man with a plan. I walked into the kitchen, confused. It smelled amazing, like my mom's coconut rice. He didn't ask me what I wanted for breakfast. He said,
"Dress up, I'm taking you somewhere you've never been." He called it a reintroduction.
I was tired of being the amnesia girl. I went and changed into a vibrant blue dress he'd bought me, which I didn't remember owning. He took me to the Lekki Conservation Center. He didn't tell me we used to go there every month. He just said it was calm. We stood still for a long time, watching the monkeys. When my foot slipped on the wet wood, he caught me, and just for a second, my heart pounded. For the first time since the accident, the fog in my head didn't feel so heavy. Walking through the canopy trees with Tunde felt familiar. As we neared the end of the trail, a peacock spread its feathers. Without thinking, I blurted out, "Look, it's Babajide." I froze. Where had that name come from? Tunde looked at me like,
"You remember?"
I'd just handed him a miracle. But as I tried to force the memory open, a sharp pain shot through my temples. The harder I tried to grab hold of the memory, the faster it slipped away. I had to get out of there. The ride back to the apartment was completely silent. I felt like a fraud, wearing a beautiful dress belonging to a woman I couldn't remember being. When we got back, I stood alone in the hallway, staring at a locked door at the end of the corridor. A door he'd told me was just an old storage room. My hand shook as I turned the key. He was trying so hard to protect me from the pressure of remembering, but I needed to know who I used to be. I pushed the door open, and the breath left my lungs. It was an art studio, and every single canvas on the walls was a painting of him. Dozens of portraits of the man I thought was a stranger, tears blurring my vision. Then, I saw the massive canvas in the center of the room, covered by a white sheet. I pulled the sheet down. It wasn't just him this time. It was a painting of our wedding day. I was staring at a memory I didn't own, looking happier than I ever thought possible. Staring at that wedding painting, the wall in my mind didn't just crack, it shattered. The sound of our family spraying Naira notes, it all rushed back so fast it made me dizzy. I was so lost in the memories that I didn't hear the footsteps behind me. I didn't see him standing at the door.
I turned around, crying, and asked him why he hid all of this from me. Why he let me treat him like an intruder in his own home.
He looked at me with so much pain in his eyes.
The doctors said if I forced you to remember, the pressure could damage you permanently. I didn't want you to love a ghost, babe.
I realized then that the only stranger in this room was the version of me that forgot how deeply this man loved me. I crossed the distance and threw my arms around his neck, and for the first time in 3 months, his arms wrapped around me like they belonged there. The amnesia didn't completely disappear that night. There are still blank pages in my story, but as we sat on the studio floor together, I knew we were ready to start drawing the next chapter.